Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're going to have a great day. I got a good start to my morning and about to jump on a Zoom call here, but was just thinking about something this morning I wanted to share with you. The question I have is, who were you before life happened? And I think it's really good for us to go back and think about who we were as a child, maybe a very young child. Who were we in the innocence of our childhood, because that gives us a better picture of who God really made us to be. Now, I realize some of you listening, you didn't get a fair chance from the start. You may have been raised in a very abusive, dysfunctional situation, and so you dealt with that from the very beginning. But for most people, they had a pretty normal childhood, and yes, along the way, things happen. Even our parents, in their best intentions, can do things that begin to really, change our identity or begin to change who God really made us to be. So it's not your parents' fault. There's people along the way that have done and said harmful, hurtful things to you. And the problem is we tend to accept those and make things that we experience and hear part of who we are. And we begin to form this false identity. But we have to go back to, who did God make me to be in my mother's womb? Because that's the true you, and that's the whole process of getting to this identity. So I just wanted to encourage you to go back and think about just some funny stories or some interesting stories of your childhood that might remind you of who you were in your innocence before life happened. And so I was just thinking of two funny things this morning. I just thought I'd share. I'd love to hear yours. But two funny things for me were, I remember as a child, our family would go on bike rides a lot of times on Sunday afternoon, but it was a pretty common thing. All of us had a bike, and we lived out in the country, and we'd go on these long bike rides around the big country block, basically. And it was obvious from a very early age that God put leadership in me. And as a kid, I had to be in front. And if anybody passed me, I would fight and pedal as hard as I could to try to stay in front. And so my brother and sister, my brother's 4 years older, my sister's 8 years older, they would mess with me, because what they would do is begin to pull up right behind me or right beside me or just past me a little bit, and then watch me struggle to try to keep up with them. And obviously at that age, I really couldn't keep up with them if they didn't want me to. And then probably on days where I was being especially cantankerous or a problem, just to throw me into a tailspin, they would pass me. And I would get to the point when I realized I couldn't catch them, I would literally stop and slam my bike down in the road, and I would refuse to go anywhere until everyone got behind me. So I knew from an early age that God put leadership in me. Now, that was unhealthy leadership, but that was pretty obvious that He put leadership into me early on. I wanted to be in front. I wanted to lead. And so the other funny thing was, my family would confirm this, but as a kid, they called me Motor Mouth, because I never stopped talking. I talked all the time. And so my initials are MM, but my brother and sister and family called me Motor Mouth. For those of you that know me really well, that's not surprising, but for those of you that don't know me very well, a lot of people are shocked by that, because
It's 9 o'clock.
as an adult, they don't necessarily think I talk that much. So anyhow, two funny stories that take you back to your childhood, or my childhood, to make me think about, maybe, who did God make me to be before life happened. Tell me your stories. You can comment or send me a message, or next time you see me, tell me, but I'd love to hear that. See you later. Have a great day.